it wasn't the wrong shot, because if it goes in, nobody pays any attention to it, but he's desperate to get a frame.
Honestly, that not playing for the yellow off the black in the second frame has really put him up against the 8-ball there. He needed to win that frame, and to have it stolen and to go 2-0 behind and now 3-0 behind, he's got himself in a terrible situation there.
He has, and I don't suppose history's any consolation to him at this point, but last year Sean Murphy was 3-0 up on Stuart Bingham, and the year before that Ronnie was 3-0 up on Mark Selby. It's certainly very early days, but worrying times, you have to say, for Ding Junhui.
It certainly is, Hazel. Worrying times for Ding Junhui and his army of fans around the world. Mid-session interval coming after this frame, and the brown has just come to his rescue somewhat there. There's a red into the right corner, but he's hampered. This will just be a safety shot, you feel. See, playing someone like Mark Selby, your safety's got to be so good to try and force him into making a mistake. And not only one good safety shot, you've got to play a series of good safety shots until your opponent makes a mistake.
I think that's one of the tough things about playing a player like Mark Selby or a John Higgins. It's a tough enough game at the best of times without playing somebody who's such a strong match player. You know you've just got a tough day ahead of you. Can make the job seem even harder. And if Ding Junhui is in that frame of mind that he thinks it's a more difficult job than it was previously in rounds before, then you put yourself under that little bit more pressure.
The cue ball's going to pull up short of the pocket. That was a good shot from Ding Junhui there. Had to play that with lots of side so that he didn't career into the reds. Well, this is an awkward shot. Surely he's not going to knock this one in. No, I didn't think so. But what a good shot he's played.
Currently, Mark Selby doesn't need to take any risks. He's hoping that Ding Junhui will just still be in panic mode. Just try and force the issue a fraction too much. Ding Junhui needs lots of patience for the rest of this session. Just try and play his way into the game naturally.
With his tactical play, Mark Selby. That's another perfectly played safety shot, but Mark ahead in the safety success department, as you can see there, and as you would expect.
He looks to have Ding Junhui in all sorts of trouble. Ding just coming off the top cushion to lay on the red on the side. That's all he could do. Nicely played.
Touching ball.
That's typical. It's a touching ball, which makes it so much easier for Mark Selby. It's amazing for the cue ball to travel the distance that it did there and just land touching the red.
I think all Mark can do is to try and put the cue ball back in exactly the same place. Might get if he does, he might get a repeat performance by Junhui. So, déjà vu.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. That's all he's got available to him. Is it going to reach? I don't think so. And there's a red. Is there a red at the back of the bunch that will go?
Mark Selby-Ding4.
And is the black available? Maybe not. No, the red won't go because Mark had a look at it. So now, you see, he can hit other reds. So it'd be interesting to see if he plays the same shot again. If he comes up short this time, you'll be warned because 3 misses from this situation and you lose the frame.
Can't afford to hit this shot too hard because any separation between white and red, and it does leave Mark Selby a sniff into the green corner pocket. This is harder. He's going to reach for sure.
But once again, he's going to be back in the same position, thin off the red, off the side cushion, over onto the ball cushion, somewhere behind the yellow. Tight to the cushion is what he's after. Not quite this time. There is an escape route for Junhui to come down the left side of the table. He could even come down off the red that's near the right side cushion. Half ball off that. He's had a look at that and he's back looking at it again. As long as he avoids the double kiss, the white will head up towards the green. It's a little bit short of pace though. He may have left one on here. Or maybe not.
Certainly a long-range tempter for Mark Selby on the left of the table. Screw back into the bottom half of the table.
Steve, there's not a lot wrong with that new tip when you knock that type of shot in.
That's fantastic. How to keep the heat on your opponent. One easy lesson. And it's not, that wasn't defensive, that was taking it by the scruff of the neck. So whilst there's plenty of people at home think that Mark Selby's a defensive, destructive player on the table by dragging his opponent into drawn-out tactical play, in essence, is the ultimate match player.
4.
Well, he's got them nicely
5.
placed now. There's at least 4 reds that are available before he'd have to go into the bunch here. Look at the number of points, 305 to 119. And every chance now that it could be 4-0. An awful long way to go here, but he's in the mood as Mark Selby.
12.
The second frame, so important for Junhui to have won. He let Mark Selby back in. And he
13.
smells blood. A long way to go. He's looking like a machine at the moment.
Well, I keep harping on about it, but what a decision to take the tip off after winning a semi-final against Marco Fu. I was talking to Bobby, his good friend. He
20.
said the tip is just too hard. He's not comfortable with it. Brave decision, and it's paid off by the looks of things. It's always a risk.
21.
The pack looks relatively tight, but there's a couple of reds at the top as we look on our screen that go.
28. $29.
It's got one to the right of the pink spot. Goes into the right corner. And that's probably the one he's going to play on.
It looked as if they're all covering each other, but there is
36.
one available. The one closest to the pink goes.
$37.
Just played for that loose red, and he's got an angle here to bring more reds into play. There's the number
42.
of balls potted throughout the tournament. Look at that. That's incredible. All square. Not now though, and that's a terrific
43.
shot. Let's have a glance. The red next to the black might be a little awkward, but he took the opportunity to bring more reds into play there. He's already 47 points in front and looking good for 4-0.
I'm not exactly sure if he knew that was going to be the outcome, but he decided to play it as a screw back rather than running through for the black. And if he did read that screw back exactly as he played it, that's fantastic.
49.
The jester.
$50.
Well, the cannon didn't work out. He was hoping to push the pink on there. So now medium range blue required to clinch the frame. You would say this was the main shot. And look at that shot. Right on the red next to the black. He really is
55.
in fine form in this final. This is probably the best he's played. He had a terrific final session against Marco Fu. And well, he didn't quite get the
56.
side on that, so he needs one more good shot. Just a delicate little cannon could clinch this frame. Just a little delicate cannon there needed. He's hit the other one, but that's fine. Any cannon was going to do.
$63.
Ding Junhui has shown weakness here in this opening session. Mark Selby has done his job and has shown great strength. And I don't think anybody thought that there'd be a 4-0 scoreline. We thought that Ding Junhui was likely to continue in the same vein. He's looked very comfortable in this tournament so far. You just never know what's going to happen, especially at the start of a match. Oh, it's drifted, just got it.
64.
Thought that was drifting to the near jaw. Damage limitation for Ding Junhui for the rest of this session.
69.
Mark Selby's had 7 centuries in this year's World Championship. There's been 81 so far. The record is 86.
70.
That was set last year. But this has been superb from the world number 1. He has made 45 century breaks this season.
77.
416 in his
78.
career. There's a little smile on his face
85.
there. He's enjoying himself. He's totally at ease with his game. What a start.
$86.
Beautifully played, the way he nudged that red past the pink spot.
92.
He's going to take some stopping here in this
93.
year's final, that has to be said. The winner here 2 years ago, that magnificent victory over Ronnie O'Sullivan. An awful long way to go, but there's another magnificent century break from Mark Selby.
100.
Well, I think
101.
Junhui is going to have to head to the practice table and have a chat with his mentor Terry Griffiths. We know that the mid-session interval can change things around. Will it? That's the question.
106.
Kyron Wilson still holds the high break, a break of 143, £10,000 for the high break. And Kyron's getting married in 6 weeks' time, and he's hoping to use that £10,000 towards his wedding, but it could go here in this final.
115.
It's a lot of marzipan, isn't it?
$120.
An exhibition type position there, load to side. Doesn't matter about the pink. Tried another exhibition position. What a start for the world number 1. Mark Selby has played 4 and he's won 4. He goes to the mid-session interval 4-0 in front.
Well, this is a turn-up. After Ding's devastating form over the last few days in the semi-final, many expected this man to be hanging on to the coattails or the waistcoat tails of Ding Junhui today, but that is not how it has worked out. 4-0 up, and a total contrast to the form that Mark showed in his last final here in 2014 when he was down, and very, very difficult to come back against Ronnie O'Sullivan. He did manage it then. But that was the 82nd century of our championship this year, and we're only 4 away from the record which was achieved last year in what was Stuart Bingham's year. And it's been a very interesting start to this final. I really hope you're enjoying it. There's a long way to go here, but how positive has Mark Selby looked in himself, in his form, in comparison to the last few rounds?
He is an absolutely wonderful match player. He really is. He seized on the opportunity in the second frame. He knows how much that's going to hurt Ding, and since then he's just been exemplary in everything he does. He's given him absolutely nothing to look at. The long red he's knocked in there is brilliant, and the break he's made. He's upped his game considerably from what he's been showing so far, certainly in the scoring department. And the fact he's doing it with a brand new tip, which has got me bamboozled, I don't know how he's managing to do that, is just exceptional. And now we know as we've always have done, why he's world #1.
Yes, and he's been world #1 on and off since 2011. He's been there or thereabouts for a very long time. If he wins the title, he'll remain at world #1, by the way. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But Obi-Wan Griffiths, that's what they're calling him, Terry Griffiths, is going to have to weave his magic once again with Ding Junhui here.
Yeah, and I think as Ding normally does, he'll go straight to the practice table. I mean, even when he was playing McManus and he was winning frames with centuries, he went straight to the practice table. So he'll be there, and I thought Terry won't say, having been with Terry, he won't be saying too much. He'll just be like trying talking to him, just even about general things, not even about snooker, just to try and lighten the mood a little bit. Because Ding will be feeling, he'll be heavy, he'll be feeling heavy at the moment. He's under extreme pressure, and until he gets that first frame, it's going to be. It's just desperate to get that first frame.
Yeah, he'd go in and knock a few balls around it, because obviously you don't get to see too many when you play against Mark, and obviously he's in some respects, at the early part of this match, he's got himself under pressure by his own mistakes. You know, he's not been anywhere near. Stephen mentioned the chances that he was getting at Alan McManus, they were all gone. He made a couple of messes there, lost cue ball control. But this is more a test of character than his snookering ability, what he's got on his plate this afternoon.
Yeah, there were a couple of dodgy shot selections, as you guys pointed them out, and that's put himself under pressure right from the off. But you could possibly explain those because of the occasion, but he's been punished so severely for them.
Yeah, I mean, you could possibly put a reason on his playing these shots. He maybe sees that he doesn't want to get involved in Mark Selby's game of tactical battle. So he's maybe that was a plan when he came out. I'm just going to go for anything, and just maybe put Mark Selby on the back foot, maybe do something that he doesn't expect. But talking about Mark Selby now, he's in just a lovely position in a final. He's just so relaxed. You're so relaxed now. You're 4-0 ahead. You can just relax and play his game. He's under no pressure. He's not been put under any pressure at the minute. But it's just a great place to be in the final when you've got your opponent on the back foot.
It's a dream start. He's a bit like the Floyd Mayweather of snooker. This fella. There's all sorts come up. They all try. There's attacking people. There's slow people. There's that. Just finds a way to win.
He's got everything. I mean, what does Ding do? You're 4-0 behind. Do you attack? Well, he's tried that.
He's tried it, yeah, exactly.
Do you try and beat him tactical? Well, that ain't going to happen. So, what is it? He's just got to get in first, Ding, in every frame and clear up in every frame. He's got to go back to the way he played against McManus. If not, this could be an early finish.
Easier said than done from his point of view. So much to ponder. Thank you very much, guys. And now settle down for the second part of this session. John Virgo, Ken Doherty in the box now.
Yes, thank you, Hazel. And you've got to say, Ken, a big 4 frames here for Ding Junhui.
Yeah, absolutely. He would have been in the practice room with Terry. I suppose, John, situations like this, you've just got to forget about the previous 4 frames. You know, you've got another 4 frames ahead of you. Try and get a few frames on the board. I mean, if Ding can come out his next 4 frames 3-1, he's well back in the game. Of course, but of course the pressure builds, as you always say in commentary. Until you get that first frame on the board, pressure's going to build on Ding. And Mark Selby, on the other hand, is a master in this situation. He's going to keep the pressure on.
Absolutely, he'll thrive on this, won't he? But that second frame that Ding Junhui lost when he'd made the 52 break and Mark needed a snooker, apparently he walked out the arena, he punched his dressing room door, you know. It's frames like that that really hurt you when you lose them.
Yeah, and frames like that you win as well, they give you a great boost. So yeah, you don't see a lot of emotion from Ding Junhui, but he punched the table as well when he was going out. He was really annoyed. They really do annoy you, those type of frames, particularly when you lose them.
Yeah, and let's not underestimate the fact that this is the biggest match of his life, and he's got the hopes of a country resting on those narrow shoulders. Just got to relax and get himself in this match. And as you say, and I agree, he won't really relax until he gets that first frame on the scoreboard. It'll come, but he wants it sooner rather than later. Yeah, excellent safety there from Mark Selby. There's been talk about the fact he put a new tip on last night, but so far he must be very pleased the way it's reacting.
Yeah, saw him in the practice room before the match started, and he said he had a half an hour of it last night, even after his match, when he probably would have been very, very tired because the match went on so long. But he seemed pretty happy with it, practicing, and particularly not just playing the pots, John, but it's sometimes playing the safety where that particular shot where you're trying to swing it around 4 cushions, and unless particularly with a new tip, if it's not gripping, you know, those shots can go very wrong. But he seems to be okay.
Well, Junhui now has got a problem here. I can't see him playing this pot, but if he tries to just rest the cue ball near the top cushion, he could get the double kiss here. In the end, he went for the pot, thinking if it rattled the jaws, he wouldn't be leaving much, or nothing that easy. He's left something, but it was one of those situations. Couldn't get back to balk. Thought he might be able to pot his way out of trouble. This red that Mark's going to take on, if it was a natural, it'd be fine. He's digging in, he's going to try and pot it and just cannon the red above it to stay on the black. Digging in makes the pot harder, but it's right in the heart of the pocket. Couldn't have played it better. Beautiful shot.
Eight.
Here's a slight angle, but may not attempt to go into the pack of reds. Potting this red may just... Well, he decided to, and he's played it very well. He just had a slight angle there, but managed to force it. Just have a look at the cue ball here. He's forced the angle.
Yeah, that was a terrific shot from Mark, because as you well know, when you're trying to force an angle, you take a lot of pace out of the cue ball.
16.
Have to go up for the black now. I'm sorry, up for the blue. He can't retain position on the black.
17.
So there'll be a few disappointed people in the arena. I've seen quite a few people I was at Crucible Corner, and the sponsors are laying 40 to 1 a maximum break in this session.
They get excited, don't they, when a few reds and blacks are gone in. This cue ball needs to run. Now, is he on this red?
He's not.
22.
He's getting down. He's not playing it. He's just seeing whether he can reach it. The problem with this, it's the yellow ball. That will be his concern. Can he get down properly on the shot and not touch the yellow?
Referee Paul Collier having a keen eye on Max Selby's waistcoat there. Oh, that's a good plot.
23.
Very nicely played. And nicely on the black as well. Judged it perfectly. A little bit of right hand side. Just checking the cue ball up off the side cushion. You see, 255 points
30.
now without reply.
And there's a surprise. He was just standing up for the blue, so he wasn't doing a lot with the cue ball. That's a bad miss. Now Junhui needs to take advantage of these opportunities. wide.
One.
Well, not a bad little kiss there. He's got a nice straight blue into the yellow pocket. Just screw back a few inches for the red beside the pink. You can see the red that's just on the pink spot will
6.
stop the pink being respotted. So that's what he's just having a look at. If he pots this red, leaves the cue ball where the red is, and we can just drop the pink into the left centre. Pink will
7.
go up onto the yellow spot, and the red that's on the pink spot clearly pots into this bottom right hand corner pocket.
Gets to 68 points, and there'll be snookers required.
14.
Nicely on this red.
21.
He's going to need a nice split off
22.
this pack of reds, and he's purposely left himself low on this black.
He's stuck to the red. Now, can he get through to
29.
this red to the left middle? It's touch and go. He's just on it. And this blue will play 65 points in front with just 75 remaining. So just another red and a colour, and it'll be another frame on the scoreboard.
Sure.
Yeah, got a heavy contact there, but he's still on the red. Let's have a look at the
35.
cue ball. The blue just bouncing, slightly taking a bit of the pace out of the cue ball, but still okay. But Ding, that misread. He'd be looking, trying to get this frame on the board as quickly as possible. At the moment, it's all Mark Selby. The longer it goes on, the more difficult it becomes.
After his victory last night,
41.
I saw Mark Selby, and he said that the last session he played against Marco Fu was the best
42.
he'd felt all tournament. And the way he started off this final, he's carrying it in today. New tip or not, he looks in good stroke and looks very confident.
47.
And like all champions, when they get the noses in front, they're not going to keep looking behind
48.
for dangers. They're going to look ahead at the winning line. So this early in the match, worrying times for Ding Junhui.
55. 56.
Yeah, I don't think he's played his best at all throughout the tournament, Mark Selby, compared to maybe a couple of years ago when he did win this championship. Made that wonderful comeback against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. But he's got
63.
one of those type of games, John, that even when he's not playing at his best, his second part of his game, his B game as we sometimes call it,
64.
is still so good. He's so consistent. It makes it so difficult for his opponent. Doesn't give you anything very easy.
Well, if he's going to make
69.
back-to-back centuries, and he's a good shot here. And solid, very
70.
solid, and got a nice angle on the block. The problem is the yellow not being on its spot, needs a good positional shot. Oh, well, he was playing it with a ton of left-hand side. That made the putt missable, and he did. But once again, he wins the frame, and Junhui didn't score a point again. So Mark Selby racing away with this at the moment, 5-0. Racing away with this at the moment, 5-0.
He is, and what can Junhui do about it? And his coach, Terry Griffiths, who's been in his corner for the last season or so, now with Steve in the press room.
Yes, well, actually, Hazel, down in the practice room with Terry, where you went into the interval on the table with Ding. Worrying times.
Very much so, yes. I mean, you know, he hasn't really settled down. Mark's taken full advantage of all Ding's errors, and it's a tough old place. I mean, it's just typical, isn't it? Professional snooker. One day you're up and next day you're down.
You're the foremost coach in the game now. You've had plenty of experience of coaching the top players in the game, and also respected as more of a mind coach these days, delving into that. But what do you say to Ding Junhui? How long have you known him? What do you say to him?
In the interval, obviously, once he finishes his practice, he always likes to come in and have a little bit of practice. So I have 5 minutes with him, little chat, just try and calm him down a little bit. Obviously, he's very disappointed with his performance, you know, to date. And then I'll just try and get him going out there in a little bit more positive mind. It's very difficult to get him from where he was to a positive mind in a few minutes, I can tell you. But have a go. And sometimes I shout at them, sometimes I coax them around.
Obviously, it's damage limitation for the rest of this session, but then what would you say to him, regardless, in the interval before tonight?
I haven't really thought about that yet. I mean, I'd like to see the score first, obviously, before I make a decision. I'm pretty flexible because I got used to this. You know, I've done it so many times, here, the Crucible and other places. So I've got a lot of things I can use. It's just a matter of how, you know, the player absorbs the information I give him, to be honest with you. I'm no genius. It's Ding's the genius. I'm just there to try and prepare him a little bit better to go out and play.
OK, well, we won't keep you. We'll get you back to the agony. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I think that's the key, isn't it, John? It's trying to keep Ding in a positive frame of mind. Very difficult. Now, okay, here's your chance, Ding. You feel he just needs an easy chance like this just to get his arm going, get a few points on the board, give himself a bit of confidence. I'm easily trying to get the black back on its spot. Nice angle on the black now. He can screw into the pack and still be on the red. The loose red into this bottom right hand corner pocket. That's pretty good. That's more like it.
Yes, played the positive shot. It's not easy to do when you're struggling to get your first frame on the scoreboard, but it was the right shot, and he played it well. Just got to be a little bit careful here. It's a delicate shot, this. It was okay.
17.
It's a little bit thinner, but he played it nicely. I wouldn't say he's perfect on the black. But he may just be able to force the angle. A little bit short on the red, but that's understandable. When you're trying to force the angle, the last thing you needed to do was go too far up the table.
24.
So up for the blue. Needs a good angle on the blue.
25.
Played it nicely.
I'm just wondering, would he play the positive shot? Blue into the left centre, cue ball straight into the pink, the top of the pack. Oh, he's played it very nicely indeed. Didn't have to hit it with a lot of pace. Just very nicely controlled and brought a few more reds into play, and he's nicely on this red into the corner pocket. That was a lovely shot, John, wasn't it? He didn't have to play that with a lot of pace.
Absolutely, and the fact that he didn't play a lot of pace was that he believed he was going to hit it right. You know, sometimes if you're in a stage of a match where you're not going to frame on the board, you feel as though you just want
31.
to hit them hard and hope you're going to be on something, but it was a controlled cannon. He'd like to have been a little straighter on this black, though. All the reds are there now. He didn't need to play another cannon, but I'm afraid he's going to have to. The angle he's got with on the black. That was the problem. If it had been straighter on the black, there was enough loose reds to win the frame.
38.
He wasn't. And with this angle, he had to go into him again, and it can always go wrong, and it has.
Yeah, and it was a little bit tentative, that one. That was a time where he needed to inject a bit more pace into the cue ball, and he played that understandably a little bit more tentative. He was almost like he was making sure of the black. But that's end of break. Now he needs a good cue ball here, tight on the ball cushion.
Doesn't want to catch the bump in the middle pocket here. No, it's okay, he juiced it well.
Junhui 38.
Good cue ball, but he'll be disappointed. Should have made more there. Just coming up to the 2-hour mark. And Junhui at the moment, nothing to show for his efforts. And this is a decent safety, but not quite the line. Another inch or two over, and he could have got that cue ball tight in behind the green. That pink somewhat blocking the path now to the left corner pocket. This looks a better line. No, once again, just a fraction out. But if somebody could get that cue ball in behind the green, certainly have the advantage in this frame. Very important tactical battle this. Mark Selby knows that he can't afford to let Junhui have the next chance, with Ding already having a 38-point advantage. And of course Ding knows if he gives Mark the next chance, that lead could count for nothing. Swinging it round off 2 cushions. Good length with the cue ball. And with that red in the middle of the table next to the blue, puts a lot of pressure now on Ding Junhui to get this cue ball safe.
Yeah, the fact that he's so close with the cue ball to this ball cushion, so he can't play, of course, the 4 cushion escape route back to balk. He's got to be very careful, as you said. Well, that was a very strange shot indeed.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I don't think the red closest cue ball passes, and the red behind the black, if he hadn't got the double kiss, would have been a little bit easier than it is now. But does this red pass the pink? It's tight, isn't it? Maybe half the pocket available, but if you were right behind it, you'd fancy knocking it in.
Could be. High-pitched whine up the top. Everybody can hear it in you.
This may be worth
Ollie's
having
on the
a
phone
go.
now, so we can find out what it is.
There seems to be a little high-pitched noise in the arena. Just disturbing Mark slightly. That's on the referee. It's worth having a go at this, bringing the cue ball back up into balk. Good shot. Oh, he's got a nice little bump off the middle pocket as well, just to keep the cue ball out in the middle of the table and nicely on the yellow. That was a nice little bonus. Just have a look at the cue ball here. Good pot. Just that little knuckle off the middle pocket. Still would have been on the green, but just a lot easier, of course. It tells us the red next to the blue pots, and he's perfect. Couldn't have hit that much better.
3.
We'd love to get that pink away from that bottom left-hand corner pocket. Maybe not from this red. Maybe take the blue and then one of the red. But it needs that pink out of the way, back on its spot.
4.
So pot the blue. The red at the bottom of the pack. We'll pot into this bottom right-hand corner pocket.
Nine.
this red he's potting now, okay, it's the only ball that was on, but playing for the pink, as Ken suggested, it's just a little bit more difficult because the reds that are now available all go to the left corner pocket, which he's clearing the pink from, but he's got a little bit to do with the cue ball. You wouldn't think it'd be a problem, but he's going to be at full stretch, using the extended rest, extension on his cue. So he's got to be careful with this one. Yeah, played it nicely. Still 22 points behind.
16.
He's going to need the awkward red on the side cushion to clinch the frame at this visit.
17. 24. 25.
I think the bottom one of the three reds that almost in line will go to the right corner. Forced it in. Now he's 6 points behind. The four reds, four blacks would be 32, which would put him 26 points in front
32.
with 35 remaining. So that red on the left-hand side cushion he needs.
33.
That could be Ding Junhui's only hope here. That could be a big stumbling block for Mark.
Sure.
Well, never got into that cue ball.
40.
He's blessed with tremendous cue power, but didn't strike cue ball that well. He's getting the cue ball clean. Maybe he did get a heavy contact, but didn't look like he got a proper strike on the cue ball there. He's running away from the reds now.
Well, is he looking? Does he think if he cuts this red in, he can cannon that awkward red that he needs? That would be a bonus if he could get the cannon and the pot. No, it wasn't on. And kissed the blue the wrong side. Don't see many more at this visit now.
Yeah, there's no value really taking on the brown. It's very odds against the potting that brown and getting back up for the red. So typical match player that he is, he's going to keep the pressure on his opponent, try and get the cue ball behind the green. And that looks pretty good. Excellent shot.
Mark Selby 41.
Sort of forcing Ding into, well, the easy escape is obviously the red on the left-hand side cushion, but of course Ding very reluctant to bring that out into play.
We know how costly the miss rule can be if you keep missing it. Hit and hope, do you think, Ken, for one of those two reds, the left of the pink? At least he's got that insurance of the red near the left cushion. I won't want to bring that into play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. There is one possible escape. I'll just try and put a line up, but it would, I mean, this is such a delicate shot, and you've got to play it almost dead weight, and if he doesn't hit it right, he'll possibly leave a red to the left centre. But that is a possible escape. He could play this with a bit of pace and try and hit the reds and just trust a little bit of luck. But again, I'm never certain of where the reds are going to finish up.
I mean, I see your line, and that's the way to hit the reds. Personally, I'd come down the other side, dig down, swerve round the yellow, and come into them with pace from the left-hand side of the table. Just, you never know, you might knock the pink on the cushion, you might knock a red on the cushion.
Yeah.
Just trying to run up to this red near the cushion, but as you say, well, that's a nothing shot. I don't know what he's played there.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby, 4.
Well, that's a show of nerves, if ever I saw them, because I'm not quite sure what he was trying to lay into the red on the left-hand side cushion, or trying to come off side cushion, two side cushions, and maybe come up the back of these reds.
Yeah, I think that was his plan.
But I mean, he's hit that by quite a considerable margin. I think he's got to try the two cushion escape, John, and maybe just hit and hope for the best here.
Harder this time. Now, has he got the line? It looks pretty good to me. It looks very good. Brilliant! Brilliant!
Super shot. And not only did he hit the red, but Mark Selby can't pot this red. That was a tremendous escape.
Mark thinking about the possibilities of playing out the awkward red that he'll have to contend with if he's going to win the frame, if he gets a chance. But he doesn't feel as though he can get a good safety off that red. I think mainly because he's hampered. Yeah, good safety. And Junhui with the problem here. He doesn't really want to bring this red away from the left-hand side cushion, but obviously he feels that that's the only guaranteed safety. But even playing this one, he's got to get round the back of the black. If he plays one of the reds that's near the pink, he's got to be careful. If he catches it too thick, he could run into the red on the side cushion. Nothing will look easy to Junhui at the moment. Decided just to play the containing shot. Well, he's left it safe, but that's all. He's not going to gain any advantage from playing it like that. But sometimes the balls dictate what shots you play. Shot from Mark, covering the two reds in the middle of the table, so I think no other option here but to play this red. Played it with a lot of side. Oh, and the kiss on the blue has ruined it. Didn't get the kiss on the blue. He may have found the baulk cushion. The yellow may have helped to cover this red. But here's a chance for Mark Selby.
All right, stop calling out now, please.
And the 3 reds now are in the open. And he has a 7-point advantage.
Good pot. The red just left of the pink, not below it, the one just beside it will pot into the left-hand corner pocket. We can stay on the pink, just drop this in, stay on the pink. 15 ahead. 2 reds, 2 colours. Just having a look at the pink respot.
Nine.
Obviously, having another close look. It looks like it won't spot on its own spot. It will go on the blue spot, and it just wants to make sure.
Yeah, and of course you can't ask the referee to get a ball and try and put it on. You've got to judge it with your own eyes. But I like you, Ken. I don't think the pink will go back on its spot.
Well, there's plenty of room, and that's why he's come around the same side.
50.
Well, the way he was looking, yeah, obviously he had to play for the red in the same pocket. Just red, pink or black required.
16.
There'll be no heroics with this black. This black to go 30 points in front with 27 remaining. Just make certain of the pot, that's what he'll be thinking.
$23.
Another excellent long pot.
25.
32 points ahead. You want to make sure of this green. 2 4-point snookers required from Ding now. Looks good.
28.
I don't think after the performances from both players in their respective semi-finals, nobody would have expected
32.
a session like this from Mark Selby. 6-0 now. Well, he doesn't bother about the blue, and Junhui goes off, but he has a mountain to climb. There's 2 frames left in this session, and it's all Mark Selby at the moment. He leads Ding by 6 frames to 0.
It's a bit of a shocking scoreline, you've got to say. This is the man who scored more points than anyone has ever done in a Crucible semi-final yesterday. And look at it.
7 centuries, he's had a 35, a 38 and a 52 today. He's been completely kept off the table. The quality of Mark's match play, even when he loses position, you come up to the table, next minute you're snookered behind the blue or you're up on the cushion somewhere, he gives you absolutely nothing. And he's just sitting there, Ding, watching it, and he's getting continually sickened by what's happening.
It is just not his type of game here, Stephen.
No, and when he is getting in, he's had a couple of chances in the frame so far where he's been in a situation where we'd expect him to clear up. And he's just playing, because of the situation he's in, the desperation to get a frame, he's just playing little tentative shots into the pack. He's not been as positive as he normally is. So subsequently he's not getting good position, so everything's a struggle. But he needs to win these 2 frames, I feel, because I mean Mark Selby's more or less broke the back of this match. I mean it's going to be tough for Ding to come back from 7-1.
Can you describe the feelings of uncertainty, of blind panic that you must feel in a situation like that? It's your first final. You've waited all your life for this opportunity.
I had it. I got it from
Yes.
Steve. You know, I was on the end of it. I was mentally gone playing in the final when I had it, and you're just getting drilled. And you're playing someone who's playing so much better than you. You get nothing given to you, as you'd expect in a world final. And you're just sitting there watching one frame ebb after another.
You've had it done to you. You've done it.
Also, Ding's got, I know it was a long time ago, he's very inexperienced, he's got history. Obviously, that final against O'Sullivan in the Masters when he lost 10-1, that was his first big occasion final. This is a much bigger occasion final, so he's got history of this.
He does have history of this, and it was a subject that we were going to talk about. 2007, he was 19 years of age when he met Ronnie then. He was walloped in that and got very emotional. He was just a young man. 10 years later, now 4 years after that, he came back, obviously, and won the Masters. Yeah. And you do think that his game is so much more mature. He's much more mature as a man, as a person.
He is, but I tell you what, he's not had many bigger character tests than this one.
Frame 7 underway. Of course, 8 frames to be played in this session. And this is Mark Selby's 100th frame of the championship. Junhui, of course, had 3 qualifying matches to get through, and he's played 100. This is his 129th frame. Excellent safety there from Mark Selby. Should be easy enough to hit. Don't want to glance off them. Don't want to glance off them. He's left the red. Well, I say he's left the red. Can Mark hit it red to pot it? Looks like he can.
Yeah, judged it nicely. Could have been a little bit higher with the cue ball, but still dropped this black into the left corner pocket.
Mark Selby, 8.
A mistake, but just looking at it quickly, no harm done. Just trying to pinch a little bit of the pocket there. I'd be disappointed to have missed it, but he won't be too disappointed with the fact that he's not left anything on for Junhui. And of course, with that red being adjacent to the left corner, can't really play safe off anything but this red. Yeah, played it well, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to hang on in there, not despair. This is a long match, best of 35 frames. First to 18, so don't lose your cool. Just a bit thick on that safety, so give Ding a chance, and he'll certainly be having a go at this red now to the right corner pocket. Wonderful shot. Cued that delightfully. Right in the heart of the pocket. He had first chance in the last frame, but just a loose positional shot cost him.
8.
He'd like to have been a little straighter on this red. Managed to force it in
9.
and just about on the blue. Now we play the cannon here in between the yellow and brown. Lots of left-hand side, 2 cushions into the cluster. Oh, but don't miss the blue. Miss the pack now.
Junhui 9.
Well, another chance gonna begging, but look, he's got away with it. Well, obviously Mark thinks he can cut this in. It's very thin. Oh, no problem. Junhui got away leaving the easy starter. But that fine cut. Problem is with that, you're never certain to be on a colour. Well, this is positive thinking, Ken, playing the pink.
Yeah, and with the little bit of extension at the bottom of his cue, he's going to be throwing a lot of cue out from his bridge hand. Not fully control, but it's almost a dead straight pot. Oh, well played. Nice pot, nicely on the red.
Seven. Eight.
Pot the black, pot the loose red. And we trying to get a nice angle on the black now after this red. That's exactly where he wants the cue ball. It needs to be low on the cue, on the black with the cue ball.
15.
So he's got a nice angle just to stun up into the pack.
16.
Usually very good at this shot. Just watch the way this cue ball will arc. Lots of bottom. Catch the red right and the cue ball will riddle its way through that cluster.
It's not too bad. I would have loved to have been straighter on the red as we watch this shot again. Just watch the cue ball.
Yeah, he just caught that red a little bit too full, didn't he? And he was always coming across the edge of the pack rather than going into them. But he's got this red to the left middle. So,
Selby 23.
just shows he went into the pack. He was left with his tough red, playing it with pace. And now Junhui, I feel you've got to take this opportunity. You've got to win the frame here and now.
One.
Well, he won't get a better chance than this. Couple of easy starters just to get this cue arm going.
Seven. Sure. Eight.
Needs to get back up from his next red, back up towards the pink and black. Just wants a nice angle when potting this green, just on the red, just so he can drop it in. Doesn't want to be straight on this red. Wants a nice angle just to pot the red and get back up for the pink. Because he's got a couple of reds either side of the pink, then just makes it
11.
a lot easier. It's just got a slight angle.
$12.
He's 10 points behind, so you may see him just glance at the scoreboard. He's going to need the red on the right hand side of the table and the red on the left, as well as the 4 reds below the pink, if he's going to win the frame from this position. So it's not a straightforward run to the line.
18. $19.
I always feel, though, you come to the table with a bit more purpose when you sat in your seat thinking your opponent was going to win the frame, and it looked like that until Mark Selby missed the red to the middle. And clearing this red now, he makes the 2 just below the pink available into the right corner. 4 points to lead.
27.
Oh, he's played a poor shot there. That's not good. And if he's going to play for the pink, he's got to screw. It looked like he had it. He didn't know which ball to play for, pink or black.
He's sort of betwixt and between. And now what it does, it puts a bit more pressure on this red. He really wanted to clear the 2 reds below the pink before he tackled
33.
any of these more difficult reds. Now he's got to go for a ball colour here.
This is a must-get pot. Once again, his positional side of his
Junhui, 33.
play has let him down. That was a golden opportunity. Played a poor positional shot. It seemed as though he was undecided whether to play for pink and black, and finished up wrong side the pink, left himself that tricky red. Good chance, gone.
He's really struggling out there. He mustn't give up hope, though. There's still a long way to go in this game and this match. Sort of left a tempter for Mark Selby down this right and the left hand side of the table. He'd be trying to put this and screw the cue ball back towards balk. I think he's got another chance here.
Yep. For once, Mark Selby, he's given him a couple of chances. And this looks absolutely inch perfect. He could not have played that any better. This pink will put him 18 points ahead. He will still need these 3 remaining reds.
Well, that was a wonderful
7.
opening red. Just the control to try and hold for the pink.
8.
Gives him a great chance.
Anything but straight now on this pink. He needs an angle so he can get in behind the red. The red near on the right hand side of the table. It will only be the red he needs. He will not need a colour, because the red and the pink will put him 32 points in front with 35 remaining. So he just needs a slight angle on this pink.
15.
And he's just about got it.
I'll just put a couple of cue balls up here. Any position there with the cue ball would be perfect. He's just dropping the, well, again, a little bit short. I wanted that cue ball just another couple of inches, and he was straightforward for this red, John, into the
21.
yellow pocket, but he only needs the red. Doesn't have to do too much work with the cue ball, but just make sure the red if you can. It's not a gimme.
Should have been easier.
No, it's not there.
Junhui 21.
Once again, have to say, it was positional side of the game that let him down. Then put those cue balls in, and you would normally, playing that pink, you would use the cushion as the guide to how hard you wanted to hit the ball. Left a very difficult pot. Mark Selby still in this frame.
Yeah, that's almost perfect here. Knocked it red up towards the pink and black, and cue ball behind the yellow.
Well, his main concern here, Junhui, is not to leave Mark Selby any chance, any glimpse of a pot. He's got to get this red safe. Purposely sent it down that side. He's got the snooker with the pink, so that's okay. Gives him the advantage. Okay, easy to hit off the side cushion. But can you get it safe? Can you get it safe? Here's the chance for Junhui to put his first frame on the scoreboard. Just got to fully commit to this and think of nothing but potting the red. Not really that close, and where's the red going to finish? It's finishing over a pocket.
Settle down now, please.
Didn't really get close.
Yeah, quite a long way away. The only good thing for Junhui is that he's 32 points ahead. So Mark Selby, he can pot the red and get on the brown, but then he's 27 behind with 27 left. So he needs really a pink or black. He can't pot the red and blue here, so he has to get the cue ball after potting this red down towards the pink and black.
Yes, and if he's going to do that, he's got to avoid the brown or green. He's done that, and it looks as though he's coming down nicely. He needs a bounce off the cushion. He's urging it away from the cushion. He's on the pink. The pink will put him 25 points behind, 27 remaining. Junhui, has he thrown away another frame? In it goes. He's on the yellow. Tremendous positional shot from Mark Selby. He's still got a problem, which will come in 3 shots' time. Getting from blue to pink. Right in the heart of the pocket.
9.
Blue to pink will be the big problem. He needs the 5 remaining colours to steal. And this one, as a few before, will hurt Junhui.
12. Sure.
Well, if you can get the cue ball, he's got a wonderful angle on the brown. He needs to get the cue ball somewhere in that vicinity. So he's got to try and get as close to the blue. Just almost on the balk line if you can with the cue ball here. Doesn't want the bounce.
16.
Well, it's not too bad. I mean, he is blessed with a lot of cue power, John, and he's going to need it here.
Yeah, the problem is, and I mean, it's perfect to get the cue ball away from the side cushion, but we know the more pace, you've got to really cue this to give the blue a chance to go in the pocket. That's the problem. You play with that pace, you risk. And now surely Junhui is going to get his first frame on the scoreboard. This to go 21 points in front with 13 remaining. Well, tremendous cheer from the packed Crucible crowd, and even a smile from Junhui. He's got his first frame on the scoreboard, surely. And there you see the relief. Two snookers needed.
With 5 and the frame.
And Mark Selby concedes. And this Crucible audience who want to see a final and giving Junhui every encouragement. He's got his first frame on the board. Will that relax him for the final frame coming up next?
Well played, Junhui, and you could see just what it meant to him. In fact, he looked actually very emotional as he got over the line there, John, didn't he?
Well, the boys are always saying in commentary, you know, you don't settle to when you first